Hey basketball coaches and players, today I'm going to give you some great, simple, end of game sideline inbounds plays that you could run. Let's get down to the clipboard, let's check out these plays. So against a sideline inbounds, especially if there's only a few seconds left, 99% of the time the opponent is going to be running a man-to-man defense. So from here, what we are going to be looking at is having player 1, he is going to be sprinting across court towards that corner. We want him to go underneath of player 4 but over top of player 3 because player 3 is going to be cutting towards this corner. From there, player 4 is going to be setting up a screen for player 2. So once these players have ran through, what it's going to look like is like this. Now, from there, player 4 is going to be popping out to the free throw line, roughly extended or 45 degrees out, basically in that area. From there, player 5 is going to be looking to pass the ball to player 2, and player 2 is going to be able to take that shot. At least that's what we are hoping for. If he is unable to get that shot off, let's say player 4 switched, because a lot of at least older high school teams and middle school teams will teach their players to switch when there's less than 5 or 10 seconds left on the clock in a man-to-man defense. And if that's the case after this switch, there should be a mismatch here where player 4 is rolling towards the basket, where we could get that ball into player 4. Now, if player 2 is trailing, this could be a clear layup. If not, player 4 may need to do a quick spin move or something to be able to score. Possibly might draw a double team where he could kick the ball out to player 1 for the 3-point shot. Meanwhile, player 5 would have been running inbounds towards the point. Now in this second play, what we are going to have is 3 players along the side of the key. Players 2 and 4 in this case would be a lot closer to each other than you would think, just enough space for one player to go through. And that one player is going to be player 1. He's going to be going through, and player 2 and 4 are going to be trying to trap player 1 between them. This is going to be an inbounds pass to player 1, and player 1 is going to be taking that shot. Now, if player 1's defender got through, now what we are setting up is player 3 to set a screen for player 2, or whoever the better shooter is out of that combo. Player 2 is going to be popping up using player 3 as a screen, and now that's going to be our second option for a 3-point shot. Now in this next basketball play, what we are going to have is basically a box of players, except one of the players in the far corner of the box is going to be out near the 3-point line, and there's a reason for this. So we're going to be having player 4 set up a screen. He's going to take one step in. We don't want him to get any further or closer towards the rim, and player 1 is going to be using player 4 as a screen. Player 1 is going to get that ball, and at the same time, we're going to have a back screen on player 3. Player 3 is going to be cutting towards the rim. Now, if player 1 isn't open, player 5 could just send up the lob to player 3, especially if there's only 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. This is a very good option. If player 1 is able to get that ball, player 1 could send up the lob to player 3 as well. However, if neither of these players are open, when player 5 inbounds that ball to player 1, let's say player 3 isn't open, player 3 is going to then continue through and hopefully get his man stuck on player 5 so that we can get a 3-point shot by player 3. Now in this last and final sideline inbounds play that you could run near the end of the game, what we are going to have is player 1 cutting down towards this corner. We're going to have player 3 cutting towards this, closer towards half court. And at the same time, just to get these guys out of the way, if neither of those players are open, we are going to have a screen by player 4 to player 2, who is then going to be cutting across, and he is going to be the third option to get that ball. Now, if, for example, player 1 gets that ball, we're going to have a dribble handoff with player 5, and player 5 is going to be then driving towards the basket. If, for example, instead, player 3 gets that ball, we want to still have player 1 come up and set a screen for player 5, and this will be a nice hard pass to player 5 for a layup. However, if instead player 3 does not get that ball, and we have player 2 who gets that ball, what we are going to have now is player 5 running inbounds. Player 4 is going to be clearing out towards the other side. This is going to be a dribble handoff to player 5, who is then going to drive towards the basket. He may have an open layup. If player 4 pops down or player 1 pops down, then he has 2 options to pass out. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys again next time.